Welcome to I Was There Digitally with Antoinette. We talk about TikTok drama, YouTube drama. Where are they now? There's going to be a little bit of judgment or a lot of judgment. It's really up to you. But remember, this is for educational purposes only, but like for tea. And if you like content like this, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe and hit that content bell at the top so you don't miss any tea from me. Let's get into the TikTok drama today, and it's about a bit of a mommy who's done a bit of a bad thing. We're gonna try not to judge her too much, but because TikTok has done enough of that, honestly. But we'll get into a little bit of why TikTok is enraged by this mommy.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so we have the mom. The drama today is about Mac and Mom Life. That is her handle. And I don't know her actual name, but her baby's name is Mac. Or her name's Mac, I'm not sure. So her about me says city girl to suburban mom, girl mom, new mom. Okay. So she gets on TikTok and I guess in a trying to be relatable, she says that she's like, oh, does anybody else not talk to their baby? Literally, as soon as I saw that, I was like, girl, please take this down. But by the time I saw it, there was already so many TikToks that were reacting to her. So I was like, the internet's gonna eat you up, girly, eat you up, and eat you up. They did, honestly, and for good reason, because I do think that most people know that they need to speak to their baby. Yeah, I mean, I think that that's kind of like a core thing that we learn just in life. Like, I'm not even mean in school, but just like going around in life is that you're supposed to talk to your baby. It's extremely important for their development. You know, these are for their intellectual development, for their communication development, for their language development. Like you are the first contact for them. I mean, that's why it's also important to read to your baby. It's important to talk to them. It's important to, and then you have me here who like just talks to myself all the time. Like I'm walking around talking, because I'm still trying to develop my language. Still developing my language. But I know that there's some people who like me who like throughout the day, like I like externally process a lot. So I'm like talking throughout the day to myself, being like, oh, should I get that? Should I get, oh, did you that? Da, 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 da. So I'm like, and then also have my dogs, my pets, my babies, and then my cat, of course. Some of you are like, that's not a dog. No, but I do have dogs as well. Just my cat's the one who loves to be in the background. That's Dre Dre right there. Hi, Dre Dre. Oh, he's such a cutie pie. So, but I talk to him all the time too, where like I'm like explaining what's going on. So I personally can't relate. I personally can't relate to what it would be like. I don't have a child, a human baby, but the amount that I talk to myself and my fur babies, I can only imagine that that would continue with the human baby. So I cannot relate to the fact that like I don't know what it would be like to like literally not talk to your baby, and also not know that you would need to. So let's watch her video.
Does anyone else like not talk to their kid or their baby? My daughter is 11 months old and me and my wife spend most days with her together. And today it was just me and her all day. And I realized sitting at dinner that it was just quiet and we weren't even talking, which she can't talk, so. But I don't talk to her. I don't know. Is that weird? Like, should I be like just saying things so that she can learn how to talk? I make noises, I do funny faces, I dance, but I don't converse.
Oh, Mac. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. Yeah, it's a problem. I'm glad you asked. Like, I'm not a speech pathologist. But yes, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's actually quite a big one. And she also ends up talking later on about about how her child at 11 months does not speak at all. So that might be, I mean, it could be also other things, but if you do not converse with your child, dancing and doing funny faces is also great. Those are also great things. Keep those up. You know what I mean? But you need to converse, and probably as the reason why she's not talking is because you don't talk to her. And so she's not learning language. So her child, I mean, there could also be other things. I'm not going to try to assume what else is going on with that child, and why she's not conversing. But there's a lot of people who are like, the comment section honestly have eaten her up. So here are some of the comments she's gotten. She has since also deleted this video, which, good. Honestly, good. Someone said, not all of us are meant to be parents, and that's okay. People really don't hold back. People really don't hold back. Developmentally, your baby should hear 17,000 words per day. Hope that helps. And honestly, 17,000 words sounds like a lot, but it's very easy to reach if you just are talking throughout your day. I'm not a mom to human baby, but I am aunties to lots of human babies, and just also seeing my sisters, how they raise their kids, like they talk to their kids all the time. They talk to their babies all the time. When I would babysit, I was talking to that baby all the time and just go through, like, I was like, okay, so we're going to have some apples. So we're going to have this. I was like, are you upset? I mean, also I'm a labor and delivery nurse. I talk to my babies, the babies that I deliver, constantly when we're taking care of them. I'm like, okay, I know you don't like this, because when I'm doing temperatures, I'm like, oh, I know this is the worst part. It's almost done. I know you don't like this. I'm so sorry about this. Okay, so now I'm going to listen to your heart, and I talk them through it. Okay, now I'm touching your belly, and it's, what, so funny. I didn't think about that. Like when I first said, I was like, oh, I don't have a baby. I was like, but I'm with babies all the time. I deliver babies every day, so, and once I've delivered a baby, start talking to them. I talk to their parents. I talk to them. I think for me, it's just natural to do it. I'm not thinking in that moment, this is good for the development, because honestly, me talking to them, maybe it'll help their development, but I'm not going to be I'm with them for like that day. Maybe I'll get them the next day on my next shift, but parents are only there for 2 days, 2 to 4 days. So me being with them is like a small blip in their life. But it's just a natural thing for me to do. I think it's a natural thing for a lot of people to do. But also, just educationally, it's actually absolutely necessary for the baby to have you talk to them. And I do think that a lot of times there's some stuff where I'm like, this should have been something that you asked your doctor. I think a lot of people get hey, it's good for content. Thank you for that. Thanks, Mac. I appreciate the content, but sometimes we get a question, should this be content or should I talk to my doctor, or should I talk to a professional before getting thousands of eyes on this, And then someone said, genuine question. How is it easier to talk to your phone when recording than talking to a baby? We don't have that answer, but that's a good question. And then someone said, genuine question. When you take her places, do you point out, hey, that's a tree, it's a green, or, oh, wow, there's a stingray? A couple of examples. What exactly do you mean by not talking to her? Just trying to understand, ... Mac did not answer that question, but it was a great question, because I do think that was a helpful question, because in some ways I think that mom or that person was trying to be like, here are some avenues to talking to your child. Mac then goes on to explain herself, because she was eaten up in those comments. Those people were, those people were beating her up in there. So she made another video to explain herself, pretty much backtracking a bit. She's like, I didn't say I did not speak to my child at all. And I was like, because we heard it, right? She did say she didn't speak to her child at all.
Okay, I wanted to come on here and clarify something, because the comments on my previous video got very intense. Yes, I asked a question. Yes, I was looking for some feedback. Some people had some genuine comments, and I appreciate that. A lot of the comments were very hurtful. But what can I expect? This is TikTok, social media. People like to express their opinions, and you are allowed to. That's the law. Free speech. I absolutely do talk to my daughter, bottom line. I love that little nugget to pieces. She is the best. And honestly, that post was just about moments when there is silence. It is quiet, and you feel a little bit awkward, trying to fill that silence. Doesn't mean I'm not trying, right? I was just sincerely trying to share a human moment that new moms have. And I was looking for that connection point to other new moms. This is my first time doing this. I'm learning something new every single day. That's how this works. So thank you to the moms that have reached out to me on the side and have been super genuine and say they can relate and just been supportive, because I definitely needed that. But yeah, thank you all. I do appreciate the feedback, and I think everyone has gotten
I
their
love
point across. So
I
thank you.
think you've gotten your point across. And the funny thing is about TikTok is people will let you know when they feel like they've gotten their point across. You can't stop people from commenting when they're not ready to done being commenting. But I think she's trying. She's trying, and it's so cute. But people aren't done with her. I'm just gonna let you know ahead of time. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! People aren't done with her. So she makes that video. She tries to clarify. She's like, I do talk to my baby. It's just awkward sometimes. Which, again, I don't know. I think both of my sisters didn't have that experience. I asked them about this. Didn't have that experience. They didn't feel like it was awkward to talk to their baby. They didn't have like moments of like, oh, it's silent. Should I be talking? Like, also, I guess when I've been around babies, I haven't had that experience where, I mean, yeah, maybe you're not talking every second of the day. I get that. Like maybe sometimes there is silence between you and your baby. I think that's like normal. It seems like maybe she has like just some awkwardness to herself. And that's why she's like, there's just some awkward silence. She's like, what do you do with that? I was like, you don't have to fill every moment with speaking. I mean, you should be speaking. Okay. Like I think we've made that clear. You should be speaking to your child consistently. But it's okay if there's times where you're not speaking. Just like in everyday life, there's times when you're not speaking. That's okay. Also, but at the same time, I can understand where maybe if you're not used to, I mean, I guess I'm assuming what she's trying to say is that like, because the baby doesn't talk back, you're just talking out loud. And I guess there's some people who may be better at that than others. I would posit that. I think that makes sense. There's probably some people who are better at that than others, to be like, just talk, 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 talk. I mean, not everybody's going to be as good at that, and that's okay. Like, we're not trying for perfection. You just need to put effort, like there's no such thing as perfection in motherhood and in anything, honestly. So like, I still want to give this mom grace. It's more like, she was pretty clear before that she doesn't talk to her baby. So there's a part of me that feels like she's backtracking, and she did get a lot of comments like, you're backtracking so hard. And it is feeling like that. Like she's trying so hard to now be like, no, I do talk to my baby. But your baby's 11 months and doesn't speak, which does happen sometimes. But is she babbling? Is she like speaking her own language? Is she starting, and now because people came so hard, like we're not going to get any of that information. This mom, it seems like trying so hard to like, she's going within herself. She's feeling attacked. She is being attacked. She is being attacked because, one thing people don't play about on the internet is babies. They don't play about that. And so once you've kind of shown that you're not doing the best for your child or for a child, they're not going to be very kind. They're not going to be very kind. And so people have not been very kind to her. And there's some people saying, meanwhile, I consult my dog on every move I make. Same. And then someone said, yet she's talking on the phone. There's a lot of that. People being like, you can talk to the phone, but you feel awkward talking to your baby. And it's literally the same thing. Like, except your baby's going to have a face. Your baby's going to make faces at you. Your baby's going to like kind of like engage with you while you're talking to him or her or them, Your baby's going to engage with you. They are not going to talk necessarily back to you, but sometimes they will. They're going to babble. You know what I mean? They have their own baby language. They're going to scream. They're going to get excited, So talk to your baby. That's like, I don't even know what else to say about that. Talk to your baby. Someone said not talking to your 1-year-old is emotionally abusive. I'm sorry. I'm not going to, I don't know. And then someone said, this is literally how kids learn language. And it is. This is literally how kids learn language. If you have an 11-month-old, they should be, I don't like to say should be. This is my nurse brain coming out where I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like too, like, this is what's normal. This is what, when it comes to development. But, there's a curve with development. And around 11 months, there are a good amount of kids who start to either speak, in ways that we understand, or start to use certain types of language like have language like behaviors. So at that age, you do start seeing them speak. Maybe you're not fully understanding what they're saying, but they're speaking. So I think I would want to know a little bit more about that. Like, is what type of detriment is this doing? Because she's saying that she's not speaking. She doesn't speak. What does that mean to you exactly? Is it like her not doing full sentences? Because like you're expecting a lot from that baby. But and then there has been a lot of people. I thought this kind of response was very interesting. And then there are some people who have commented about this and are like, this is indicative of, and I don't know, I'm not part of this demographic, but like of some lesbians, once they've gotten married, once they have a kid, like one trying to get into this heteronormative, they get into a heteronormative dynamic, and like how there can be this pressure in the lesbian community to, after, once you start having like a heteronormative family per se, like, you know, you have a kid, like then one person ends up taking the role as the quote unquote dad. And so there are some people commenting and saying that like, it seems like she's gotten into the role of the dad, that's what people think about dads. And, but also that there are a lot of dads out there who are like that, who like just don't interact, that like just really leave it up to the mom. And so, yeah, someone wrote, this mom has achieved the dream of being the dad. And at first I didn't know what that meant. And then I watched a video and it was like, oh, like there are some people who are feeling like when some lesbians have children, that's what ends up happening, that somebody takes the role of the dad, and they're saying in this way. And the role of the dad is basically somebody who's, you know, weaponized incompetence, not involved, you know, not doing the things that, not really engaged with the developmental aspects of having a child, not engaged with the like the day-to-day aspects of having a child. And so basically that's what it's looking like for this mom, that she's taking that role of the stereotypical dad that's not involved. And I was like, wow. That I felt like that kind of was like a bit harsh and like a bit deep. Maybe deeper than what's really going on, you know? She then makes another video.
Oh my god, I cannot believe like how much this has blown out. This is so crazy. Seeing other people like use my video to make their own content, and then their content's blowing up. Like, in a weird way, it is kind of cool because I work in social media, so it's so crazy to see how this stuff works. But I also want to preface again that in my original video, I did not say I never talk to my daughter. I said I find it challenging sometimes to talk to her all the time. But I will say that I do very much appreciate a lot of the genuine comments that I am getting, and I have been getting a lot of direct messages from moms as well, that have related to me and have given me some good feedback and some tools and tips to help me not feel so awkward in those moments. I have been narrating a lot more to her the last couple days, pointing things out and such. And obviously I know it doesn't happen overnight, but I am starting to notice that I feel like she's trying to say more words now and like less like noises. It feels like she's actually trying to like maybe mimic what I'm saying. And she points and like tries to say it. So that's like really cool. I really am on here to connect mostly with other moms, bounce ideas off each other, and get feedback for whatever questions and concerns we have. Motherhood is tough, but very rewarding. So thank you for the people that are genuinely reaching out and genuinely commenting.
So I guess she wasn't even doing that. She wasn't doing like pointing things out and being like, apple, you want apple? Like, oh, this feels really sad. I honestly, like, I know I'm a little bit more like uppity about like up, but this actually just feels kind of sad. And I'm trying not to judge her too much, but like, I'm judging because I'm like, I don't understand how we got to 11 months and you're just asking this question and you're just doing things like this. And so now your daughter is just starting to try to like mimic you and mimic the words that you're saying. So you really were not speaking. If you're like, wow, it's so cool that I can see she's trying to say those words. Yeah, that's what happens when you talk to your child. They are going to try to say the words that you're saying. They're trying to mimic you. That's what they do. So, and her really backtracking now and saying like, oh, I never said that I didn't speak to my child. You did say that. That was said in that video. So that's why people were confused. And also now this other video that you're making saying that like now you're seeing these new habits from your child of her trying to say things that you say is is pretty much confirming that you weren't speaking to your child, because that shouldn't be new to you. That's something that like these are habits from your child that you should have seen already because you were speaking to her. But I digress. I digress. So yeah, that's the drama. And people were not happy. People are still in her comments, you know, eating her up. What are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? What do you guys think about this? I mean, she also then made a video showing her trying to talk to her baby.
All right, so we have to give the people what they want. They keep saying, have you talked to your daughter yet? Have I talked to you yet? Have I? I don't know. The internet is going a little bit cray-cray on me right now because they think I don't talk to you. Even though I never said I'd never talk to you. I just said sometimes it's a little bit awkward. Sometimes a little bit awkward. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Got it? You got it? You gotta push a little harder. Push a little harder. Push a little. There you go. And 4. All done! Yay! You did it. You do it again? 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead. 1. Good job. 2. Get it. Get it. Get it. Come on. Get it. 3. Oh, 2. Sorry, we're on 2. 3. 4. Good job. Yay. Good job.
It was a little bit passive aggressive too to the audience, but you can actually see though that you can tell she does feel awkward. And I feel like that kind of like is a little bit sad to me that that's how she feels, but I think, you know what I feel like, even though this is kind of like a canon event for her, right? This is a canon event for her. She had a lot of negative feedback, but she got some good feedback. She's integrating it in. This is like, you know, those, the more you know moments. And even though you can tell she feels awkward, she's trying, she's doing the right thing for her child. So what I'm hearing now is that she's going to continue to do the right thing for her child. She's also probably, because she keeps turning off comments on these posts. So it seems like some people are still unhappy and some people still have more to say to her. And the funny thing, I've done that before on TikTok, like not my main page, but like I had a different page. And I said something weird. I don't know what I said. But I was about eggs, and I like don't like eggs. And people went feral on me in the comments, and I turned off the comments. But you know what I learned is that it doesn't really matter if you turn off the comments. People will go to your other posts if they feel the real need to say something to you about it. And my post was just about eggs. So I'm going to posit that she's going to get a lot more. Doesn't matter if you turn off those comments, girlie. You might as well have a place for them to like rage on you. And I think it's honestly kind of sad because it does turn sometimes into a little bit of harassment. But what do you guys think of this drama? It feels a little sad, but I want to hear what you guys think in the comments. What would you say to this mommy? Are you feeling like sympathetic towards her? Are you feeling like what the hell? You know, this is I Was There Digitally with Antoinette. And if you like content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the top so you don't miss any tea from me, okay? I love these little chats of ours. Love you, mean it. Bye.